In this episode of Forgotten History, we look into the man who destroyed a 233-year-old bank, starting from a single desk in Singapore. Imagine being in your 20s, earning a modest salary in a London back office, and within a few years you're running the hottest trading operation in Asia. That's not fiction. That's Nick Leeson's life. This is the rise and the beginning of the fall of Nick Leeson. Before he became the infamous rogue trader, he was a quiet kid from Watford who rose faster than anyone expected. But who was Nicholas William Leeson? What drove him? And how did his name become synonymous with one of the most spectacular financial disasters of the 20th century?
Welcome to True History in Minutes. I'm Liam Foster, and on this channel, we uncover the truth about historical events that have shaped our future. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications. It directly supports the growth of this channel. Now, sit back and enjoy this episode.
Part 1. The Rise of Nick Leeson, from Clerk to Star Trader. Nick Leeson was born in 1967 in Watford, England. His parents were working class, his father a plasterer, his mother a nurse. Ambition ran high, though. He wanted to break into finance, to escape ordinary life. His first banking job was unglamorous, processing checks at Coutts Bank, the Queen's banker. Then Morgan Stanley hired him to work in futures settlements. He wasn't trading yet, but he was learning the plumbing of the system. By 1989, Leeson landed a position at Barings Bank, and that name carried weight. Founded in 1762, Barings financed governments, royal ventures, even the Louisiana Purchase. It was one of Britain's crown jewels of finance. Leeson joined as a back-office clerk, earning about £12,000 a year, but he was sharp, confident, and good at navigating systems. He made an impression. In 1992, Barings decided to expand into Singapore, into the Singapore International Monetary Exchange, or SIMEX. Leeson was chosen to run it. Think about that for a moment. A man barely into his late 20s with no university degree and little trading experience, now in charge of Barings front office trading and back office settlements in Asia. That's like being both the pilot and the air traffic controller. In the early months, he was a success story. His Singapore operation seemed unstoppable, making millions in arbitrage between Tokyo and Singapore futures markets. London celebrated him as a genius. The press called him Barings' Wonder Boy. Bonuses rolled in. But under the surface, cracks were forming. Leeson's ambition and Barings' outdated structure were on a collision course. Because while profits rolled in, losses began to pile up in a hidden corner, an account few people even knew existed. It all started with something small, an error trade by a subordinate costing £20,000. Leeson opened a special account, numbered 88888, to hide it until he could make the money back. The number, 5 eights, is considered lucky in Asian culture, but for Barings, it would become cursed. By late 1992, Leeson wasn't just fixing one error. He was hiding a growing web of them. And the people in London? They didn't ask questions. After all, the reports showed profits. Leeson had found a dangerous truth. As long as you made money for the bank, nobody checked your homework. And with that, a 233-year-old institution began quietly sowing the seeds of its own destruction. Part 2. The Hidden Account and the Gamble. We enter the shadows of the trading floor, where profits were fake, losses were buried, and luck ran out. Singapore, 1993. The trading pits of SIMEX roared with chaos. Nick Leeson was at the center of it all, confident, admired, unstoppable. But behind that success lay a secret that would soon spiral out of control. Account numbered 88888. Originally meant for minor corrections, it became Leeson's personal dumping ground for losses. Every mistake, every bad trade, every missed reconciliation ended up there. And since Leeson ran both the trading and the settlements teams, he could hide everything in plain sight. When profits came in, he reported them. When losses hit, he buried them. London saw huge returns and sent praise. The internal auditors asked few questions, but losses have gravity. They pull everything toward them. Leeson's strategy turned reckless. He moved from small arbitrage trades into speculative bets, massive positions on the direction of the Nikkei index and Japanese interest rates. It was no longer about earning spreads, it was gambling. He started following what traders call a doubling strategy. Lose 1 million, bet 2 million to win it back. Lose 2 million, bet 4 million. It's the casino logic, double down until you win. But if the odds turn against you, you lose everything. By the end of 1993, the 5/8 account had hidden over £20 million in losses. Leeson was terrified, but also addicted. Every day he promised himself he'd fix it tomorrow, and the system kept enabling him. Why? Because Leeson's reported profits were now accounting for up to 10% of Barings Bank's global income. His bosses in London called him the Golden Boy. They saw the numbers, not the truth. Even worse, Barings ignored a fundamental rule of finance: segregation of duties. The same person who made trades also reconciled and settled them. That's like letting a cashier close the till and audit it. By 1994, Leeson's losses had surpassed £200 million. Yet London was still sending congratulatory memos and bigger budgets. The bank doubled his capital allocation. To keep the illusion alive, Leeson forged client confirmations, falsified records, and manipulated margin payments. The deception was now global. Then, in the middle of 1994, Leeson made a massive bet. He shorted Japanese interest rates, predicting they'd fall. When they rose instead, he lost tens of millions overnight. He tried to hedge, but it only got worse. His wife Lisa recalled later that he barely slept, working 18-hour days, constantly anxious but unable to stop. He'd created a monster too large to control, and yet Barings' London executives sent him champagne. Literally. That same summer, he was photographed smiling at a corporate party, hailed as the bank's brightest young trader. No one realized they were celebrating the man who was quietly digging their grave. By December 1994, the hidden losses were over 500 million, £500 million. And still, nobody in London had any clue. In a final desperate act, Leeson placed one massive bet that would make or break everything. He bet that the Nikkei index would remain stable. If the market stayed calm, he could recover slowly, but if it crashed, Barings would go down with him. The date, January 17th, 1995, the event that would trigger it all, the Kobe earthquake. Part 3, the collapse of Barings Bank. January 1995, the Kobe earthquake devastates Japan. Thousands are killed and the country's stock market plummets. For Nick Leeson, this was the worst-case scenario. His massive bets depended on stability, but the Nikkei collapsed overnight. Suddenly, the hidden losses exploded beyond control. The 5/8 account now carried over £827 million in losses, twice the bank's available trading capital. Within days, Leeson was forging new reports, wiring fake settlements, and pleading for margin payments to keep his positions afloat. Cymex demanded cash. London scrambled but still didn't grasp the scale. Then Leeson disappeared. On February 23, 1995, he left a note on his desk. "I'm sorry." He and his wife fled Singapore for Malaysia, then Thailand, eventually reaching Germany. By the time Barings executives pieced together what had happened, it was too late. The Bank of England declared Barings insolvent on February 26, 1995. 2 centuries of banking history gone in 3 days. The total loss, £827 million, about $1.4 billion. The sale price of Barings to ING Group, £1. The bank that had financed governments, kings, and empires was now reduced to a corporate carcass. When Leeson was arrested in Frankfurt and extradited back to Singapore, the world's media exploded. His face was on every front page. Rogue trader. The man who broke the bank. He pleaded guilty to deceiving the Singapore Exchange and was sentenced to 6.5 years in Changi prison. He served just over 4 before being released for good behavior and due to cancer treatment. But Barings was gone forever. The real lesson, though, wasn't about Leeson alone. It was about the institution that let him thrive. Barings failed to separate trading from oversight, allowed one man to control both ends of the process, and rewarded risk without accountability. In the aftermath, the case became a cornerstone of financial risk education worldwide. It's taught in business schools as the ultimate cautionary tale. Nick Leeson went on to write a memoir, Rogue Trader, later turned into a film starring Ewan McGregor. Today he lectures on risk management. Ironic, but fitting. Barings, reborn in fragments under new ownership, never regained its prestige. Its name now serves mostly as a warning. One man didn't just break a bank, he exposed the arrogance of an entire system. So next time someone calls a trader a genius, remember, behind every miracle profit might be a hidden 5/8 account waiting to explode. What subject would you like to see next on Forgotten History? Drop your ideas below. Maybe the next story we tell will be one you've always wondered about. Thanks for watching True History in Minutes, and we'll see you in the next episode of Forgotten History.